Hi, I'm Phil, and today I wanted to talk about what you get when you buy an iPad Pro from the Apple Certified Refurbished program. So first of all, let's have a look what you get when it's delivered. So this is the iPad Pro that I received. And having researched this in detail, one of the reasons that I ended up going for the Certified Refurbished program from Apple is that they completely replace the outer case on every single device that they ship in the iPads. And they also put a brand new battery in there. So essentially you are getting a new device. This is a 2020 11-inch model, second generation. And the reason that I went for this one, it's 128 gigabytes, but the reason that I went for this one is that as part of my design workflow, I do a fair amount of sketching, drawing out ideas. Sometimes I do vector graphics on here, and you can see that in the other videos that I have on my channel. So I have my second gen Apple Pencil, which just charges on the side as you'd expect. So no difference to all the other modern iPad Pros. But for my specific use case, this version of the iPad is more than good enough. It has the A12Z Bionic chip in there. I could have gone for an M1 in the refurbished program, but importantly, that would have added on another 150, 200 pounds just to get into the M1 chipset. And then, of course, you can get, there are one or two of the M2 iPad Pros that come onto the refurbished site on Apple. The key thing to think about when you're considering which iPad you should go for, in my case, iPad Pro, is what you're actually going to use it for. Now, it's well documented that the iPad Pros are way overpowered for most people's use cases. As I mentioned, I'm a professional designer, so for me, the primary use for this device is going to be drawing, sketching out ideas, and also a bit of media consumption, some use of other apps, workflow apps, general productivity type stuff, Office 365, etc. So in terms of the load that it puts on a device like this, it's not significant. Now, I have owned a 12.9-inch version of this iPad Pro, this particular version, the 2020 version, and I found it too large for me. I like to hold it in my hand. I like it to be more portable. When I'm using the pencil, then you can clearly see that it's very easy to draw and sketch on here. Whereas with the 12.9-inch version, I found it was just that bit too big, bit too hefty for me. That's a personal preference. Although I did see somebody on the tube in London take out a 12.9-inch from their bag and try and use it to just browse some stuff on there. And it did look kind of ridiculous because, it's bigger in many cases than a small laptop. So yeah, if you're looking for something that's more portable, I definitely recommend the 11-inch. That said, storage-wise, 128 gigabytes for me, more than enough. Now, I have been using for the last year or so an iPad Air 4, 4th gen, and the reason that I wanted to go back into an iPad Pro is because I wanted the faster refresh rate on the screen, the 120 hertz versus the 60 hertz, because it does make a difference when you're particularly consuming media and scrolling around and changing things. But when you're looking at the amount of memory that you actually need, the iPad Air that I had, in fact we've kept it, was only 64 gigabytes. Now, for the majority of people, that may actually be enough if you are looking at an iPad Air. Obviously, the iPad Pro starts at 128 gigabytes, so twice as much. And for me, I was butting right up against that 64 gigabytes on the Air. So I really needed the 128. Now, you can actually buy the iPad Air 4, which is a very good device, from Apple certified refurbished. But if you want to go beyond the 64 gigabytes, you have to go to 256. Obviously, they know what they're doing there, but that makes it more expensive than 128 gigabyte 11-inch iPad Pro, and to me that makes no sense. If you're going in purely on a performance-based decision, then all day long the iPad Pro, still the older version, this 2020, still beats the iPad Air 4. The iPad Air 4 has the 14 Z Bionic chip, but so on paper slightly more performant, but the better screen, better camera array, not that I ever use that, and just a thinner, more polished presentation of the iPad that you get with the Pro. So I'm not going to go into lots of detail about use, because I can tell you from experience, using this device since it arrived, no different to getting a brand new version at all. The only difference in the unboxing experience is that you have that white box with just certified refurbished on the front. Same kind of box that you would have got the original iPad in, but it just doesn't have the branded product picture on the front. That's it. Inside the box, you get a brand new power brick, which is the USB-C to USB-C, brand new cable. You get the usual documentation and literature, and included within that you have a sort of handy little guide that shows you you know, what the gestures do and how to use your iPad Pro to, you know, to its best capability. So I would definitely recommend that you check this out. This iPad Pro, 128 gigabytes, 2020 model, Gen 2, that cost me just over £464. Now, if I was to buy the M2 model, that would cost me £899. So you can see there is a massive difference in just plumbing for the newest, latest and greatest. Now, there's no doubt those new iPads are fantastic. And if you really do genuinely need the extra performance that brings, great, you know, you'll be happy. However, if you are, like me, somebody who needs just a very performant, very useful device that you can work into your workflow as a designer, as an illustrator, then this device will more than cope with that and will keep you very happy for years to come. You can see that I have applied a screen protector on this. This is a paper-like protector, but essentially it's more than a protector, as designers all know. It just creates a much better drawing surface for you to use the Apple Pencil on when you're doing your illustrations and your designs on your iPad. So yeah, all in all, I'm very impressed. If you are looking for a cheaper way to get yourself into an iPad Pro and you're looking at Refurbished, then I would definitely recommend that you check out Apple Certified Refurbished. It takes away all the stress of, have I got a new battery? Has this been, you know, has this been refurbished in a way that isn't perfect? If you're spending over £400 on a device, you want it to be perfect. So, you know, so far, no, I've been really impressed with the experience that I've had buying this, and it's made me question how I will buy future Apple products. Because if you can save yourself a load of cash and you are getting essentially a brand new experience on a slightly older device, there's not much to think about there, is there? I would say definitely check these out. You do have to go on the store and refresh every day or so because new stock is constantly coming on there. As people become more aware of the Refurbished program, then these guys tend to disappear pretty quickly when they add a new load. You can get the 12.9-inch version as well, and that adds on around about £100 extra per device. So this one was 460-ish pounds for the 11-inch, so you would expect 560-ish for the same 128 gigabytes, but in the 12.9-inch version. So yeah, that's what you get when you buy from Apple Certified Refurbished. Hope this video has been useful. Please check out all our other videos if you're into design and tech, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.